And while we are waiting, I'm just going to talk to kids. So this is the first time since the spring, or probably the winter of, was it 2019, the last time we gathered in this gymnasium? This is the first time that we've all been together. So we used to get together like this 3, 4, 5 times a year, and we'd gather in this space. But this is the first time that some of the students at Elmwood School have ever been all together as a group. So I first want to say welcome and thank you. The expectation is that you'll sit on your bum. So everybody scooch down and sit on your bum. If you're on your knees, sit on your bum. Shh. The other expectation is that you won't talk to each other, that you'll have listening ears. So show me what that looks like if you have listening ears. It's just quiet, right? We have to get through a slideshow, and we have some wonderful things. So I'm going to ask you to be a good audience, to sit just the way you are now, to be respectful of each other and the program. And I want to remind you that we're together today because we've had a competition. March Madness is a basketball competition, but at Elmwood School, March Madness is a book competition. And Mrs. Moriarty, right over here, put this together for us. And so she's going to show a slideshow, and then we're going to have a celebration. And like all competitions, we're going to have a winner, and we're going to have a not winner, right? So, the expectation at Elmwood is that you will cheer for the winner, and if you feel privately disappointed that your book didn't win, that's okay. I have a favorite in my heart that I'm kind of rooting for, and if my favorite doesn't win, I will cheer for the book that does win. And that's what I will expect of all of you too. That you're going to be a good sport, you learn about that in wellness, and that you will cheer for the winner, even if you feel a little disappointed that the book you loved didn't win. Are we ready, Mrs. Moriarty?
Sure are.
Okay, here we go, take it away.
Hey, are we ready for a song?
Okay, thank you for the zeros. Here we go.
Because you know I'm all those books, start reading. I'm all about those books, Yeah, it's pretty clear that I'm really cool because I'm reading. It's what I like to do, cause I got that fiction that everyone chases. All of these books take you so many places. I see those magazines, they make them reading hot. They break them, time is short, and you can even swap. If you got books and Kindles, just raise them up, cause everything you read is perfect from the start until the stop. Yeah, the mom said she told me, don't worry about the sign. She says good readers like lots of books to read at night. You know I won't be no close-minded thing looking by the door. So if that's what you're into, then go ahead and move along.
Are you ready?
Because you know I'm all about those books, start reading. I'm all about those books, start reading. I'm all about those books, start reading. I'm all about those books, Hey, I'm bringing reading back. Go ahead and check out, try getting started. No, I'm not joking, no, you think it's mad. But I'm here to tell you, every book is an adventure, makes you never want to stop. Yeah, the mom said she told me, don't worry about the size. She says all readers like lots of books to read at night. You know I won't be no close-minded thing looking by the door. So if that's what you're into, then go ahead and move on. Because you know If you remember back to the very start of our competition, we started with 8 books. Do you remember? Right? You remember which they were. Here you see our bracket as it started. Our 8 books: The Floating Field, now one of our finalists. The Boy Who Dreamed of... Thank you. Ooh, who was that singer? If you take away the... Clever... Basha, sing, keeps... The Elephants, one of our finalists, and the Fearless Flights of... You don't even need me here. 8 amazing books. Thank you, Mrs. Rosendale, as well, for helping me finish this selection of 8, because it's hard to decide on all these books. I think we have a friend that wants to share a poem.
So we have 3 friends. Why don't you start? Ready? We have 3 friends from Mrs. Cook's class who wrote poems about the books. So stand up, pretty. We're going to start with you and I'll hold the mic. What book did you write a poem about?
I wrote a poem about if you take away the otter. I did the word thrive, and it's an acrostic poem. T, thinking about our beautiful ocean. H, hold fast attached to the rocks where kelp grows on. R, rockfish hide around the kelp. I, indigenous people used to hunt otters. V, very happily, people protected the oceans later on. E, every creature in the ocean will survive. Thank you.
Nice job. Okay. Thank you. Next we have Lauren. Lauren, what did you write about?
A poem about the boy who dreams of infinity.
Okay. You can clap at the end. Thank you.
I wrote a haiku poem. The baby was born. Boy dreamed of infinity. Boy followed his dreams.
Very nice. Thank you. And Ava is going to read the 3rd and final poem.
I wrote a poem about the elephants come home, and it was an acrostic poem. I did elephants. For the E, I did everything is different for the elephants. For the L, I did Lawrence. For the E, I did elephants come home. For the P, I did protecting the elephants from danger. For the H, I did helping the elephants come back. For the A, I did Africa. For the N, I did never hunting. For the T, I did true friendship. And for the S, I did so angry.
And all of Mrs. Cook's class, I think, wrote special poems. So thank you so much.
Thank you, poets. There was a classroom in 2nd grade, Mrs. Evans' class, who wrote a poem for me about all of the books, and I'm going to share that right now. Okay? It says, Dear Mrs. Moriarty, so they put it into a letter. Thanks for making March a party. We loved the books and learned a ton, all while having so much fun. From the floating fields and infinite math, to how Selena found her path. We learned about kelp under the sea, and a horse that counts to 3. How Fauja Singh and Hazel Ying Lee were strong, and elephants and people learned to get along. Thanks for filling our month with gladness. We love reading and March. So, thank you to Mrs. Evans' class for that. That fills my bucket for sure. So we had our 8 that started our competition. You all had to do some difficult voting and make tough decisions. And we got it down to our final 4. And it was the floating field against If You Take Away the Otter, And on the other side of the bracket, we had Clever Hans against The Elephants Come Home. And again, you had to do some tough thinking. Which of these books moved on to the finale? And of course we know, right? It came down to The Floating Field and The Elephants Come Home. So as you know, The Floating Field, you can see these are two real pictures next to the cover of the book. The Floating Field took place in Thailand in a small fishing village called Koh Phan Yi. The entire village is built on water. And you can see it there, it's completely surrounded in that top photo. That's the whole village. All the houses are on stilts. And those kids wanted to figure out a way that they could play soccer. And there you see in that bottom picture, that's the original field that they made with that wood. Did you like that story? And our other finalist was the story of Lawrence Anthony, right? The Elephants Come Home. Here you can see a couple of pictures of Lawrence out in the bush with his elephants at Tula Tula, where they were allowed to live peacefully and safely, right? So here we see, those are all real pictures from The Elephants Come Home. And now we're down to our final vote. Okay, so there are 29 classrooms that voted. 29 classrooms voted. I'm going to give you a little more data. Here's how the vote came out. One book had 15 votes, and one book had 14. A difference of just one vote is what's going to separate the winner and not winner. But to me, all of the books we had in this competition were winners because I love something about each of them. But for the purpose of our March Madness battle, we are going to pick one winner. But this is how close it is, right? This is nerve-wracking. Sometimes before you have a big reveal, sometimes there's a drum roll. Okay, open. Go ahead, friends, help me. Go, Sean. Voted for The Floating Field, and 14 classes voted for The Elephants Come Home. We've never had a book battle this close, and that's because both books were really, really good books. Thank you all. I hope you have an amazing break next week, that you're safe and happy, and please read while you're on your break. And you're going to wait for your classroom teacher